And that gets to the words which show a fairly gutsy action from Richard Sherman calling out the owners. You know, we touched on yesterday as it relates to the Arizona Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury saying that he supports his guys if they protest during the anthem. I said it needs to come from higher in the organization. It needs to come from the owners. Sherman's point, where are the owners in all of this? Why haven't the owners spoken? Why are some of them so quiet? He said it's not pulling them like it is the rest of the country, because if it was, then they'd speak. Jerry Jones especially has no problem speaking up any other time about anything else. But when it's such a serious issue and he could really make a huge impact on it with a few words, his silence speaks volumes. That is an extremely accurate statement by Richard Sherman. It's an appropriate observation. And look, when we talked about it in the context of coaches, I was reluctant to say they all should speak up. But where we are right now, especially on the heels of what Roger Goodell did in that video from Friday that was the response to the player video with the montage and the very effective message, for the owners to hide behind Goodell, that's one of the reasons why he makes so much money. We've talked about this before. He's a $40 to $50 million a year pincushion, so the owners can hide behind the curtain and not suffer the PR consequences from their policies, actions, decisions, behavior, whatever. The commissioner's the one who has to do it. And again, the world has shifted on its axis. In this moment, it requires something more. It requires more and more owners to say what Goodell said and ultimately to match what the players wanted and to come out and address these issues and say not just it's okay if you choose to protest. We support you. We encourage you to make a conscientious decision as to whether or not you're going to stand, sit, kneel, or whatever during the national anthem, and we support you, whatever that decision is. That's what owners need to say, and we know from experience that's the last thing Jerry Jones wants to say.
No, well, you know, that's what I think Richard Sherman is talking about. You know, you can make a blanket statement as the league and Roger Goodell and all that, but, you know, teams and owners took their own, you know, personal approach how to handle this the first time around. So, of course, we see how passionate these players are. And I do want to recognize Leonard Fournette, first off. I mean, unbelievable. Von Miller, I've been around Von a few times. They don't get it. They don't make him any nicer of humans around. I mean, he's just such a great guy and really shown unbelievable leadership in some tough situations here. So I really want to applaud them. But, you know, at the very least, what guys like that, Von Miller, Leonard Fournette, Richard Sherman, the rest of the league is looking at and going, okay, listen, we heard a nice statement by Roger Goodell. I think most players still would like it to have been stronger. They also would have liked it to be a little bit more timely or quicker of a response or statement from the NFL. But the second thing is, yeah, if you're a player in the NFL right now, and especially an African-American player, you want to know the guy that's signing your checks, the guy that, you know, man, you're thinking, I want to play for this team and maybe sign my next contract and stay here for a lot, is in the fight with you. I mean, those are just basic human principles. Hey, the guy I know that's my friend and comes down and tells me how great I am and all that. Wait, does he really think those things? Does he really support us? And I think Richard Sherman's point is spot on. And I think, again, yeah, Roger Goodell is the commissioner, but these owners are leaders in a lot bigger way. They lead organizations. They lead other big companies. And, of course, we know because of their financial background and history and everything like that, that these are the real people with power that can make things happen, make phone calls, and really put a lot towards getting the movement going in a better, faster, financial direction, whatever it may be. And I think Richard Sherman's spot on there.
Here's the bottom line. Jerry Jones is the owner to whom President Trump said a couple of years ago, you can't beat me on this issue of standing during the anthem. It's a winning issue for me. I'm going to keep coming at you. They reached a truce, kind of an awkward ceasefire that had held until recently. And I think one of the reasons why we haven't heard from Jerry Jones, he doesn't want to inflame that situation, which has been resurrected over the past few days, starting with the attack on Drew Brees, the president has gone after Roger Goodell. And yesterday, this went unnoticed because there was another tweet from the president that caused a hell of a lot more of an uproar than this one. But he retweeted this quote from Matt Schlapp. Donald Trump retweeted this: "I will never buy another NFL ticket until they go back to playing football and stop dividing America." That was the retweet. So the fight is there. And
I almost want to laugh at that crap right there. I mean, that's hilarious. It's like, what do they call that? The pot calling the tea kettle black? What is that? I mean, that's a bunch of crap. That really, I don't even know what a schlappy that guy is. Get him out of here. Sorry, I completely
lost my train of thought now. No,
I know.
We worked very carefully to hold the show within a certain parameter, and well, Chris, at least you didn't make me nervous about whether or not you're going to jump over the line. You just went ahead and did it with both feet. The point is this: they don't want this fight with the president if they can avoid it. Not they. Some of the owners don't want it. Now, the commissioner may not care. Drew Brees may not care. The rest of the fans may not care. But the owners are the ones who I think are, at least for now, trying to plot a way to balance these competing interests, and that may be one of the reasons why they're being quiet. So good point by Richard Sherman, and fair for people to say, where are the owners on this, especially the ones who are the first to grab a microphone when anything of any remote interest comes up. And we know Jerry Jones is usually at the front of that line.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.